What's up? Welcome to the show. We're talking about social media.
That's right.
All about it because I'm a user and you're probably a user too.
I'm a
So
user. I'm a user. I am a social media user.
a user. Yep, we're all users here.
It
All right. Now,
has its own hype,
guys,
to be honest.
what was that? What you saying? What are you talking about?
I said it. I think it has different tiers, because you can have social media and not use it. So you can
Right.
use it, and then you can have social media and use it, and then you can like never get off it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. That's a great point.
What is a user?
Mm-hmm. What is a user? What kind of user are you?
Yeah.
Put yourself on the scale here.
Are you really addicted to it? Are you doing drugs
That's
practically?
true. It could be that's a good point. It can be very addictive. That's it. It can be very addictive. It can be a huge distraction. And so how do we manage this?
Oh, that is a good
What do
question.
we do? Yeah, it's a great question
It's a
because I
good.
came up with it. Here we go. Um, so you might see this a lot. You might experience this social media distraction it can be and find it very not helpful to your own life. It could be just the cons outweigh the pros. And I want you to flip it. The pros, use the pros from it and you can create kind of like a system like I did to make your use better and actually useful. A lot of the things I hear all the time is that, oh, it's good for me because it keeps me connected to my friends. When it's like, no,
That's
you don't need it to connect to your friends. Good old fashioned letters. I'm just kidding. Good old fashioned texting, phone calls, and emails
whoa, whoa, whoa.
are the
Hold,
best.
hold
I
on.
was actually
Hold on.
messaging someone through social media the other day, and I'm like, just text me. It works. We don't need this app for it to
Hold on. Hold on. Hold
connect
on.
first.
Texting is social media, though.
What do you mean? What is
Technically,
it?
I'm gonna Google it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Technically,
Yeah, but it's now you have these separate things. You have separate apps, sites for another version of texting.
no, I guess not.
Maybe it is, and maybe you're right.
Technically, it's not, but still, you can get addicted to texting too. Where you always need an answer and you always need to be engaged on your phone. And so, you're right. It's not the same thing, but it's still just as addicting. I mean, yeah, I could say more on that firsthand, but finish your thought.
Hmm. What are you going to do? You're not going to communicate on your phone? I mean, that could be an alternative too.
That's not what I'm saying.
People have done that. Yeah.
But I'm saying
Um,
be careful and make sure you're
no, I know
moderating.
that's not what you're saying, but like, let's think about it because it's like, I think that is the last resort of still staying connected to others without using
Well,
social media is
cutting.
texting, calling, emailing. Because you don't need to do that through social media apps. That's bull crap. First off, you might like it, that's fine, but not a good excuse. And then the whole idea of like this is where I get my news from. I think we need to talk a little bit about news. News
That's
is
that's not a reliable source.
yeah, but like okay, um,
I mean, why do you say that? Why do you say that excuse is trash?
well, not a reliable source. I mean, news too. It's like it's just is even news as we refer to it as news, like worldly news, is a distraction too. It doesn't matter. Half the stuff you hear doesn't matter. I think more than half, maybe almost 100% of it doesn't matter. It doesn't change your life. Something happens 100 miles away. You're still going to get up tomorrow, go to work, take care
Yeah.
of your kids, pay your bills. It doesn't change your life. And so it doesn't matter how horrific it is.
Did you
That's
know
it.
there's a racetrack outside my house?
Yeah.
So it's
I'm surprised you're not out there racing. Like Bear, come out with us.
My Batman life, it's secret. You're not supposed to say that out loud. It's interesting you bring that up because in general, and you kind of know this, news is selective, right? It's like when people write journals, they pick the best quote to put in their journal or the one that most motivates their story or the pitch they're shooting for. So they're biased in a sense. They're picking and choosing and weeding out stuff and whatnot. And then of course you put that news on social media, it's even worse, right? Because especially platforms
There to
like
grab your attention. That's it.
Facebook, yeah, it's there to grab your attention, but it's even worse. Like platforms like Facebook deliberately cut off some things, whether it's true or not. They'll deliberately refuse to show some things, and will put other things out there, whether it's true or not. And so it's like, you know, your news source should not be social media.
Mm-hmm.
Not if you're looking for the truth, which is what you should be looking for. Not if you're looking for facts, which is what you should be looking for. Especially if you want to live in reality and you want to be able to, do well for yourself and well for the world. If you want to do well for yourself and well for the world, you need to actually be able to build up from a firm foundation, a solid foundation, and that includes factual evidence and truth. And so, so
Yeah.
not where you're
Well,
gonna.
right. Even truth that just doesn't involve you. Um,
Yeah, right.
kind
Drama.
of, yeah, it's kind of useless. Yeah, it is. It can be used as drama. That's great.
But and you already know social media doesn't project, or not even project, but show the truth. Portray the truth was the word I was looking for.
Hmm.
Because you know, and you probably do this on your own social media. People take the best picture of themselves and then they edit it and they put a filter on it and then they post it. And so it's like it's not even the reality. Even the picture you post or the words you put out aren't a perfect reality. So it's like, why would you think the news would be?
Hmm. The best news is the news
And
with
it's not.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
the best.
That's the only thing about the news. It's like, okay, it's not necessarily bad, but like if it distracts you from what's in front of you and what you need to be doing, yeah. All right, there we go. Also, another thing too, I think was already not already, but just kind of amplified was drama. Drama. Like I don't care what's happening in a celebrity's life, like their private life, shouldn't either. I mean, it goes along with the news too. It's like, but social
Mm.
media is a better access to that. And just gossip and drama, yeah, that in general is just not very attractive. It's a turn off
Yeah.
for anybody. Um,
That's always caught me as quite interesting why people like follow huge celebrities, like Kardashian or all these music artists or whatever. It's like, I mean, I get it. Sometimes you follow them because they post attractive pictures themselves or they have an exciting lifestyle that you want. But like, other than that, why are you following them?
mhm. Right.
Like you're not their friend. I,
No.
I saw this clip today, and this guy, you know what a hall pass is?
Is that for like school?
No, well, no, it's a relationship hall pass. If
Ah,
you give your spouse a hall pass, it means they can sleep with one other person, like one time, right? Yeah, pretty silly. But anyway, this guy's making a joke. He's doing stand up comedy, and he goes, yeah, my spouse and I are talking about this as a joke because we're curious. And she goes, who would your hall pass be if I gave you a hall pass? And he goes, tell me first. And she goes, Brad Pitt. And she goes, okay, now tell me. And he goes, the girl next door. and 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 uh, and he's talking to the crowd, and he goes, because my wife's never going to sleep with Brad Pitt. He goes, I at least have a shot with the girl next door. And I thought, amen, amen. Exactly. Why are you following people on social media? You don't you don't have a chance. All right. Just like the hall pass thing, you don't have a chance. So live in reality. And
uh,
that was just so funny, but
I
also
like that. Yeah.
very true.
Hmm.
Reality.
Yeah. For sure.
Play to your strengths.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. Cool. Anyhow, yeah, just the build onto this distraction too. It's like you can have a social media, and I think you showed me this too, and unfollow people what they post.
Yeah.
Not to spite them or anything, but because there's a lot of stuff that comes in and it's distracting. I mean, I have to do this with my emails too. It's like I get so many darn emails from work from other people. It's like, yeah, maybe, I don't want to ignore it, but like sometimes I have to just skim through,
Like
delete, skim through, delete, see if it's important, delete. What was that?
like anything, you have to filter it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Right, right. Yeah. Great point. So,
Respect.
don't disperse your attention all over the place. Be able to focus on what's meaningful and what's important. And I think social media is just, yeah, yeah. But I gotta say, I think it's great for business.
Yeah.
It's like because so many people use it. I just imagine like a vendor sitting on a street, so many traffic going by. They see their product, they see their logo. I mean, look what we're doing. We're producing a podcast. We're becoming part of social media. We're creating. I was just thinking about my core values, and I was like, I'm somebody who makes something that produces something. That's like a tree that produces fruit. Right? You read Genesis, and it talks about being fruitful and abundant and
Actually, you said
multiplying. And so instead of consuming all these things, you're actually producing. The goal is try to produce more than you consume.
it's interesting you say that because it's more than just in Genesis. In other areas of the Bible, probably other places too, everybody's compared to a tree, right? They're actually compared to a tree that either gives good fruit or doesn't give fruit at all, right? And is useless. So whether you want to be or not, you are producing something, and it might be nothing, and that's not good. So it's funny.
Mhm. Yeah. Anyways, it's
Media doesn't really help that a lot. It can. It depends. Like everything, it's you could use it for great good, or it could be used for the opposite.
right. And it's tough. I can see it with other people. It's addictive. Gotta tell you something I did with Instagram actually.
Yes, make your
I
confession.
was like, yeah, I don't think I need this, but I wasn't really confident. So I was like, let me just take it off my phone, right? Get rid of an icon so it's not there, so I don't see it, and delete my password or change it so I don't know it. So if I have to get into it again, I will. I'll have to fix my password. It takes more effort to do that. I was like, if I really need to use it, I'll use it. And it's been several months and
Mm,
I haven't had to use it. At first, I wasn't really confident because I've contacted friends on there occasionally. So, but now it's like, if you really need to get to me, find me somewhere else. I mean, that's the nice thing too, is people don't have my number or don't know how to reach me, can always DM me. It's not like I'm completely off of social media, but I'm there every once in a while to where if you DM me, I'll be able to catch you.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny you bring up social media because I got a notification from Spotify and they're like, we are increasing our bill next month. I thought I was paying for Spotify like premium. I
Mhm.
forgot I was paying for Spotify Duo. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is what you're increasing it to? That's ridiculous. I'm not paying that for one person. Of course I was wrong, but it doesn't matter because I'm looking at it going, that's ridiculous. I'm not paying that, right? So I let my payment lapse. I was like, I'll go back to using the free version, right? And the free version is horrible. It's so bad that I literally have not been using it that much. And I was like, this is great. As much as I like access to whatever I want, whenever I want it, when I want to listen to something, I was definitely over listening to music. A lot of things became get it done so you could listen to music. Um, and so it's been nice because now it's like, okay, I can look up the song I want, but they won't play it because they have to shuffle the album or whatever, and it doesn't play the song I want. And I'm like, well, then I'm not listening to music. Bye. And so it's like, ah, cool. Gives me some space from stuff like that, which and then interestingly enough too is I don't really think they play ads on Spotify free when you're listening to podcasts. So instead of listening to music, sometimes and more frequently now, I revert to a podcast. And arguably that's probably better. But
Isn't that funny? Because we were talking about that with the phone plan too. It's like, when we have unlimited data, it's nice, but then if we pull back to like a limited data where
oh yes, very
like we can't use our phone that much because we want to save the data, it's freeing. It's like now we have time for other things. Social media in such a waste of time. I think it's, people say it's the social, the most social thing. No, it's not the most social thing ever. Like that's what I was trying to say. It's the anti-social. All that time you spent on there, imagine just trading that time for actually spending it with somebody in person.
Or working and obtaining something you want or doing something
fruitful.
Yeah, being fruitful. Yeah, that's interesting. You say that. I think wireless companies are in cahoots with social media because yeah, you're right. Having a
Cahoots.
limited service plan where I only get so many gigabytes a month is nice because one, I don't need that much. Most of the time, I am wasting time on social media when I'm using data. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. And so that's nice because it does kick you in the face and say, hey, are you using this productively? Because you're paying and you only get this much. Use it wisely, right? And so it really calls you to be more responsible. And so, yeah, and it's cheaper because why do you need to pay more money for unlimited data, honestly? Especially if you have unlimited talk and text, right? Like phone call, I get that. I do need unlimited phone calls. I make calls all day long, unfortunately. And I don't even run a business. So like if you're already why would you pay more for data? Do you really need data? There's free.
Yep. Anyways, we'll jump back to the business thing. I think like even on Facebook, the Facebook groups were phenomenal. I used to be in sales and I just took advantage of those. I joined some Facebook groups.
That's a positive.
On things, posted on things, people noticed me, and I got to make some money off of it. So again, like this is where a lot of people get together. But I was using it to benefit me instead of distract me. So
yeah, that's a big benefit of social media. There's a lot of great groups out there.
Right. And then you get to know what's going on too in the town, which is nice.
I would argue you actually connect. All the I need to stay in touch with my friends. That's why I have Facebook, for example, right? But like the real connecting happens on the groups where you can relate to people or grow and learn from people who are, have similar interests and are seeking the same goals. Rather than just seeing, what your friends are doing tonight. Not that that's bad, but
yeah. Well,
they would tell you if it was
that exactly.
They'd give you a call.
See what you missed out on.
Yeah,
should be inviting you. Maybe they're not your friends. Just like the celebrities. You have to watch what they're all doing. Are they gonna invite you? Probably not.
So use your social media wisely, kids.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Thanks for watching.
Another lecture.